Business Podcast is better. Woo!
Hey everybody, it's just me solo. Just going to do a few plugs of our sponsors. So the first one we've got is our very first sponsor, Lady Hill Seafood Takeaway, 463 Port Hacking Road. If you're hungry, if you want some chips, if you want some fish, if you want a world-class hamburger, get yourself down to 463 Port Hacking Road. They're open till about 8:30. They open at 9 o'clock in the morning. They're also on Deliveroo, Uber Eats. If you're hungry, if you're hungover, could be a Friday morning, you're a bit hungover, you've got the day off work. Go to Uber Eats, go to Deliveroo, order, friendly service, the best food in the Shire, and you won't be disappointed. The next sponsor of our show is the Allen Hotel. My good friend David Brown's the general manager there. If you want to go to luxury, if you want contemporary charm, if you want great service and contemporary rooms, go to the Allen Hotel. Tell David that Nathan or Ab sent you and say that you know Mixed Business Podcast. You're part of our Mixed Business Podcast army and we'll sort you out. And our third sponsor, which as usual I can only do in an American accent, is Larry Klein Wholesale Meats. If you want the best meat distributors in all of Florida, they're located in Deerfield Beach. You call Zach, you call anyone at Larry Klein, you tell them Nathan sent you, you tell them Abdul sent you, and they'll look after you. Ladies and gentlemen, today on the podcast, it's a great opportunity to welcome my brother-in-law, but also a top bloke, one of the nicest guys on the planet, Matt Wray.
Mixed Business Podcast is the best ever.
Mixed Business Podcast is the best.
At night I come home after they go to sleep, like the stumbling ghost I haunt these halls. There's a picture of us on our wedding day. I recognize the girl, but I can't settle in.
And we're here, guys. Welcome to the 8th installment of the Mixed Business Podcast. Unfortunately, I'm doing it solo. I'm carrying the team. So I've sent an SOS to my brother-in-law, my good friend, one of the nicest guys on the planet, Matt Wray. How are you, Matty?
Good, Nath. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. How'd you get here tonight?
I rode the bike, but I had to borrow the Spud Man's bike. My bike is unrideable at the moment, unfortunately.
What's happened to it? Flat tyres?
It's got no seat. Just rusty chain, flat tyres, everything.
Yeah.
But it's getting fixed so I can put a seat on front for Drew.
The best thing is, well, that's one thing I want to touch on. You're a father. Hashtag dad life these days. How is it?
It's great. Has its ups and downs, and you definitely miss a few things, but the good definitely outweighs the bad.
Well, and a lot of your friends have had babies.
There's only two mates who don't have kids.
Jesus.
Of my,
From school?
yeah, basically, and they're two of my best mates.
Yep.
But yeah, and I can't see them having kids anytime soon.
No? Who is that? Do you want to do a shout out to them?
My good friend Gabe
Yeah.
and my boy Tidy.
Perfect. Well, they're still good people anyway without kids. And you just became an uncle too, so you get to get a bit of a taste of what I'm all about now.
Yeah.
Uncle life. Hashtag the uncle life.
Yeah, little Hudson came into the world a few weeks back.
Congratulations to Dave and Renee. We've got a couple of beers we're drinking today, guys. We've got Gage Road's Little Dove, the New World Pale Ale. This beer won the gold medal for the Australian International Beer Awards
It is nice.
2 years ago. Great story about Gage Roads. They were bought by Woolworths. Woolworths is the biggest monopoly in Australia at the moment. And they had a half an ownership in the Little Dove or in the Gage Roads brewery. And then they got so successful they bought Woolworths out. So they're now officially a craft brewery again. Hence
Good
why
on
I
them.
like buying them. Yeah.
That's good.
You got to support the local craft in Australia. And they're one of the only ones that are actually supplied by or that actually own and distribute their own beer. Coopers are the mainstay. They got 4% of the Australian domestic market. And they're the only ones that aren't owned by offshore in the Australian domestic region.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Even like 4 Pines and
4 Pines
well, they sold recently, didn't they?
$30 million.
Wow.
Imagine getting $30 million for a brewery.
That would have been just a couple of guys on the northern beaches.
Two guys started
in
it.
their garage and
Why not? I'd love to do that. We just got to make good beer.
yeah.
Depends what beer we'd make. We just make pale ales and drink it all.
Yeah.
You know?
If you had it in your house all the time.
Well, I'd always be drinking beer.
Yeah.
Talk
And
to
you're
me.
not paying for it.
Yeah, well, true. And you'd be fat and you'd be drunk all the time. All the time. There's a couple of things. So I've known you for a long time. How long have we known each other for?
I met your sister when she was 18.
So I would
I
have
was
been
24.
15.
So she's 32 now, so 14 years.
Jesus. How time flies when you're having fun. It was a good wedding too. It was a good wedding. Your
Oh,
wedding.
yeah.
How long you guys been married now? 3 years?
3 years, I think, in December. No, maybe 4 years.
4 years.
I think.
Don't get that wrong, because
Yeah.
Rachel's listening. Shout out to Rachel. If you're
think it
listening,
is.
hold it against him and make sure he never forgets.
I'm trying to think. I always relate it to a football season.
It's
Can't
when
remember
the Sharks won, right?
Yeah. No. We won 2016. Might have been the year before that.
2015.
I don't know. That's bad.
Oh, well.
Edit that out, Nathan.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
editing anything, mate. You're stuck now. And the other beer we're drinking is, it's called the Social Beast. So these guys, they're from South Australia, so we're giving them a go, and they're actually quite nice. Except the Little Dove's a little strong, so we might get drunk on this podcast. Who knows?
That's good.
One of your big things, though, one of Matt's big things, and you can elaborate, is your love of Seinfeld and how some people follow religion, some people follow sport, but you follow a code of conduct from Seinfeld to a T. Like if I first walk in, what do you do?
I don't know. Tell me.
So if I first walk in, first thing Matt will do, and I like to catch you out here every now and then, is when
Offer you a drink.
walk in and you offer me a drink.
Well, yeah.
Have to.
That's what Kramer says to Jerry.
I can't believe you.
Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't offer him a
Who
drink.
are you? He
Yeah.
says something like that.
Exactly right. And I was thinking, who are you? You're Jerry.
Well,
Who do you think you are?
I guess so, yeah. I'm the spoon that stirs the soup,
Yep.
to a degree.
Spoon that
That's
stirs the
another
soup.
Seinfeld quote.
Yep. And what else? What else? So a lot of your life is, or a lot of what you do around quoting and all that stuff is about Seinfeld. What's your favourite episode?
I've always been partial to the limo.
Yep.
George is fucking hilarious in the limo.
Yep.
And George and Jerry just like a great little pair then, I think. Just
Yeah.
them in the back of the limo.
Was that when Larry David was still riding?
Yes. Yeah. I do feel the show dipped after Larry left.
Yep.
I think they really ruined George to a degree. And I've heard Jason Alexander on a podcast talk about this, that because Larry, didn't always write the episodes, but he was always their executive producer. So he would sort of oversee it.
Yep.
So if he thought, George wouldn't do that, because as everyone, well, I'd hope everyone
Larry's
knows.
George.
Yeah, Larry's, George is based off Larry.
Yep.
And so, once Larry left, I've heard Jason Alexander say that, the writers just sort of didn't know how to write for George anymore.
Who was writing? It was Jerry. Who else was writing after Larry
I doubt
left?
Jerry would have been. To start off with, it was Jerry and Larry.
Yep.
And then there's guys. There's a guy with the beard who's in a couple of episodes.
Yep.
I haven't.
That's like when you go to Canada and people go, "Oh, you're from Sydney. Do you know Josh?" And you go, "Oh, I know that Josh guy. I have no idea who the bearded guy is." Yeah. Get it right. Come on. Now you're going to be held under the pump from some of your Seinfeld fanatics.
It's, looks like Rick Rubin, the record producer, but I can't remember his name. I know what episode he's in,
Yep.
but I can't remember his name. And he wrote a lot of the darker episodes, but Larry and Jerry really liked him, so he sort of came on board.
Yeah.
And then they had a lot of them, but then new writers came in after Larry left, and I doubt Jerry was really writing any.
Well, how much money were they making? I know Friends were making $1 million an episode at the end there, each actor.
I
they would have been
reckon-
making a mozza.
Yeah, at least. But when Larry and Jerry put it to syndication, I think they made $300 million each.
Jesus.
So
And then now Larry's doing Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Is that finished now?
just had its last season, which shame on me, I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Came out, I think, last year.
Yeah.
I've got the DVD at home, but I've just been too lazy to set up the DVD player.
What's the Netflix doco that they use? I think it's called Long Shot, and it's a guy who gets arrested for murder, and they end up proving that he's innocent because they were filming a Curb Your Enthusiasm at a baseball game.
Yes,
And
yeah.
he's walking down,
Yep.
and then there's him with his daughter, and they go, "Hang on, that's him."
Yep.
He couldn't have committed
Yep,
the
I've
murder.
heard of that, yeah.
It's a great documentary on Netflix.
I know the episode of Curb Enthusiasm, but yeah.
How
No.
crazy is that? Because they go to HBO and they go to Larry David. Can we have your document, or can we have the video? And he goes, no problems.
Yeah. Oh, Larry would have been
Oh,
all
of
over
course.
that.
Would have loved it.
Yeah, he's a full, staunch Democrat and very liberal-minded guy.
Is he?
Very, yeah.
So also there's something that we'll film and we'll put on Instagram afterwards. But you have a signature move on the dance floor. The Matt Ray,
Yeah,
the Matt Ray shuffle.
we need some drum and bass music then.
We'll put the drum and bass on. We'll put up on Instagram for our viewers and our
Bit of
listeners.
General Levy.
Yeah.
Jungle is massive.
Why
Always
not?
gets me going.
Why not? And music. So music's a massive part of your life.
Yeah, I do. I do have always liked my music, and a lot of my friends do as well. And you and
Yeah.
my wife, Rachel's got a great taste in music.
I was lucky. I think I was lucky because you guys really like music. So if I didn't have you guys, I would have been listening to 96.1 or some pop
So
hits
true.
or whatever.
Like my friends at school definitely got me into
Yeah.
listening to better stuff. And Gabe, who I mentioned earlier, we used to go to his pool room when we were teenagers, and his brother had the biggest CD collection I've ever seen.
That's brilliant.
And the first time I heard Jeff Buckley was there, and now Jeff Buckley's probably
What
still
a
my favourite.
waste! Like he was so good.
Oh.
Like if he didn't die, think about what he would be now.
Yeah, I
Would he be
wonder
just-
sometimes.
would he be a Nick
I don't know,
Cave
'cause he
sort
was-
of thing?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. He was a pretty eccentric dude. So, and like that first album was like a really good producer on board.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you wonder what he would have done. He might have fully gone strange, like quite in depth, because he was an amazing guitar player. And you read a lot of his stuff online about how he plays guitar, like some crazy chords and really strange strumming patterns and stuff like that. So he might have gone like, God, avant-garde jazz or something like that. Who knows?
Might have just hit the drugs and OD'd rather
No, I
than
don't
drown.
think that was
He
his
might have
thing. I
OD'd.
don't think he was a druggie. He's just a real
No?
eccentric, like free spirit sort of thing.
They tend to be. If you're a good musician, you'd have to be on that real eccentric side of things, wouldn't you?
Yeah, totally.
You
like
can't not.
to come up with the stuff that he's coming up with, like it's like
And his voice.
yeah.
It's amazing.
No,
Like he had the best voice I've ever. And that album, you listen to Grace from start to finish. His big hit album.
He's the only album.
That and then they found all the other, like his live versions.
Yeah.
They've released it over and over again. But that album, from start to finish, has some cracking songs and completely different genres too. Which is amazing.
And you hear Eternal Life live. He fully makes that heavy and real rocky, and like tunes his guitar down. And
Who's the best guitarist? I know me and Luke Bateman, we travel the States. We'd always talk about he loved guitar. And he would always say...
he's a real blues man though,
loves
isn't
it. Dwayne Allman was his favourite.
Yeah.
He's got a tattoo of Dwayne Allman. And we went to the Allman Brothers' house in Georgia. And it's called the Big House. It's where they all lived, all the band lived.
Mm-hmm.
And he got cleaned up by a semi-trailer riding a bike.
Yeah.
And we went to the road, the corner where he actually got hit. And a few people have been hit there and died from that actual...
Really?
From trucks coming through or something. You go, bloody hell. But Georgia's a shithole.
Yeah.
Don't want to offend anyone that lives in Georgia, but Georgia is still a shithole. And it's a big gulf between rich and poor. There's no in the middle. And a lot of the middle America's like that.
America's a strange place to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I really want to go back, and I've only done like LA, New York, Miami.
Have you been in New Orleans?
No,
You
see,
gotta
I'd
go.
love to do. I'd love to go
gotta
down the
go.
South. The
Yep.
South really interests me, like all Louisiana and Tennessee and all those places.
You've done Central and South America.
Haven't done South, just
How much-
Central.
just Central. That's what you
With,
guys did for your
our
honeymoon.
honeymoon. Yeah.
And what was the best place you visited there? What there would have been a
by
few.
far and away, Nicaragua.
Luke, can you get Matt a beer?
Thanks. I'll just ask next
empty.
time.
Which one?
It doesn't matter, mate. Just grab him a beer.
Either or.
Either or. Thanks, Luke. Luke Hooper's in the house. He's our
Thanks,
he's our
Luke.
waiter for tonight.
Yeah.
He's got one knee. He's done his ACL, but he's our waiter. Back to the best guitarist. You know, you listen to Prince. Prince could play every instrument. He was phenomenal.
Amazing. Yep.
Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, Jimmy, I love him. He's like, I can't claim to be a Jimi Hendrix aficionado or anything,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you a story. We were in the Gili Islands. I was just told this the other day.
Which
a couple
one?
of days
Which
ago.
Gili?
Gili Tarangan. I think what's the party one?
Gilly T. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gilly T.
So this was a while ago. This was for my mate Jamal's Bucks Day. He got married in Bali.
Yep.
And he decided to have the Bucks Day while everyone was there, which
Yep.
is a great idea.
So good.
And we were, and I'd been to Gili before on boat trips, and I went with Spud in about 2002 or 2001.
How old are you at this time?
So I would have been 21, 22.
Yep.
And Gili Tarangan then was just a little dirt road with a couple little bars. Everyone rode bikes, which I think they still do, but it was just Now apparently it's like, you know, a mini Cooter or mini Legion or something.
I'm not a fan of Cooter.
I haven't been there since that wedding.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we're all, there must have been 20 or 30 of us all went there, and we're all drinking around the pool bar beforehand, and there's like a massive big mushroom bar.
Yep.
And so we all went in there.
So what do you do? What is a mushroom bar?
Well, like where you drink like mushroom shakes and
Yep.
stuff. And I've done it before there.
Yep.
But never to this level. Like I'd shared a shake or shared a shake with someone and then laid on the beach and stared at the sky for like 3 hours, which was awesome. Or like just, you know, maybe gone 3 ways. It just gives you a little buzz. Once I had one and it worked like an ecstasy pill and I was up dancing in the club. It just seemed to, whatever environment I was in, it seemed to just work.
Yep.
So this time on the Bucks weekend, and everyone was like full guns blazing into it, and there was just mushroom shakes all over this table, and everyone was just necking
How many
them.
boys? How many boys are there?
Must have been 20 to 30.
Yep.
Mate, there was 2 boats that went. Maybe even more. Maybe it was like 40. I don't know. But it was a lot. Every male from the wedding more or less went. And he had a massive wedding. He had like 200 people at his wedding.
Yep.
So it was all like, you know, all Yana, his wife's friends and everything. Anyway, so we're in this bar and everyone's loaded up on mushroom shakes, and they'd been playing some music. It hadn't been that good. And then all of a sudden, Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix came up. And Jimmy's guitar was just coming at me from all angles. I've just never, I can imagine what it was like in the 60s when people were like tripping out.
Well, that's the LSD and all that kind of stuff.
And it was like,
massive.
and you know, you see him in like Woodstock just so into the music. And like, I'd had experiences similar with dance music, but never just in that situation. It just absolutely blew me away. And 2 guys who really like their music, Griggsy and Ben Carney.
Yeah.
Pretty much I went over and I go, you fucking listen to this music. And they were in the same
level
I was in. They were just going, oh my God, it's amazing.
Well, that's I've always found that too. I've found if you do mushrooms, you've got to be with, so you perfect environment for you. You're with your mates, you're all having a great time.
Yep.
And then it hits you and you go, holy shit. And you look over at your mates and they're like, I'm feeling the same thing.
Oh, it was I still talk about it with them now when I see them.
And you'll remember it forever. Because
Yeah.
that image or that feeling that you have when you're on, what is it, psilocybin, I think that's what's in the mushrooms, is crazy. It's amazing. There's a theory, I just pulled it up on our TV. There is a theory about mushrooms, that when we were apes, that they ate mushrooms.
Ah, yeah.
The chimpanzees ate mushrooms. Their brains expanded and they could start thinking abstractly, and they thought, fuck, and then they were all eating mushrooms.
And then they started making the first tool or something.
Well,
like that.
I don't know what happened, but to be honest, they say that evolution was, someone was born, a monkey was born with an X chromosome and they became humans.
Yeah.
But what if we did eat mushrooms? What if it was something like that, where all the monkeys are dancing around and then they just go, hang on, we can talk now. And they started eating them.
Yeah.
They think that, and they also think in the, I think it's the Hindus in India, they have cows as a sacred being.
Yeah. Yep.
Now that's because when cows shit, magic mushrooms grow from it.
Yeah.
So they must have eaten them and gone, hang on, this animal creates something special here. So let's protect this animal. Every other animal can get fucked, but let's protect this animal because it's giving us this religious experience where we feel like we're up with God and we're there and everywhere, which is crazy, right? I think it's amazing how LSD was legal in the 60s.
Yep.
And then they banned it. But everyone was taking LSD or smoking weed and all that kind of stuff and they were relaxed. You know, weed's going to be legal in 10 years.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No. Well, you don't hurt anyone. I haven't ever heard of anyone smoking weed and bashing someone.
No.
Have you?
No. When I was like, I don't smoke any weed anymore, but when I lived in the UK, I was smoking a lot, and I swear it made me a better person. Just enlightened you, and if something you'd think, I don't know, just things you'd notice, yeah, that's wrong. That's the wrong thing to do, and stuff like that.
And so that's the one thing then is, why do we have this stigma against weed now? Why are we like, oh, if you smoke weed,
I think
you're doing nothing with your life?
Yeah, it's just got that stigma of, down and out, stoners.
Who started it though? Where did that start? Like where did that actual thing start? The government?
Some right wing,
some right-wing
Bible basher or something.
A Mormon. Maybe it was a Mormon. Maybe it was Brandon Flowers from The Killers.
Yeah, they're not Brendan. He's my man.
They were great live, actually. But it's awesome. And I remember when we were in Gilly, and we were at a wedding. We were at my best mate's wedding, Steve and Nicole's, and we're very similar. I was sitting down with two of my friends, and they're like, "Are we going to get on mushrooms here?" And we ended up buying the cone mushrooms. They come in cones. They come in a shake.
Yep.
And we wanted the shake, but they brought us a cone. Then they went back and got us some shakes. So we were giving it around to this whole wedding. And the next minute I know, there's 50 people at this wedding. We're all on fucking mushrooms, tripping balls, letting these lanterns go in the air. And I'm standing with Nicole's grandma, and she must have been 80 plus. And I look at her, and she looks at me, and I go, "Are you on mushrooms here?" And she's like, "Yep." And I go, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And these lanterns are floating in the air and all this kind of stuff. So it was one of the best experiences.
Wow, what a cool grandma.
Apparently, I don't know if this is allegedly. We don't want anyone arresting her. But when she flew to Bali, she had a joint. She smuggled a joint in her pocket through customs and everything. Got out, just lit it up and smoked it straight in Bali. It's crazy, eh? I think it's really crazy.
Yeah.
There's I want to talk to you about this. I was in Milperra today. I was at a client's shop, and I was talking to him. His name's Anthony, really lovely guy. You walk in, you just think he's a regular bottle shop owner. You think he just bought one, he's run a small business. Not this guy. This guy's been in the federal police. He's run a security company where he personally looked after Tom Cruise.
Yep.
He used to say Tom Cruise used to fly me New Zealand, Australia, everywhere.
Yep.
Where we go, he's got stories left, right, and centre. And he was telling me how he's gone into promoting. He's moved from security into promoting, and he goes, "We're getting Russell Brand out here next year, 2019. Russell Brand wants $150,000 per show to do a show." And he goes, "Yeah, that's reasonable." Then I go, "Well, how much are you going to make on top of that? What's after the whole tour? They're going to do 4 in Australia, 1 in New Zealand." Hope no one's listening, and I've broken the story without anyone listening. But he's going to make $1.5 million for promoting Russell Brand. And then he goes, "Just keep this on the down low, so no one say anything." He goes, "We're trying to get Eddie Murphy out of retirement."
Oh, wow.
If they could get Eddie Murphy out of retirement to Australia, and he goes, "We're not going to call it Eddie Murphy coming to America. It's going to be Eddie Murphy coming to Australia." I go, "Mate," you'd be instant multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Instantly. It'd make it so good.
Well, look when Jerry came out. That was huge.
How good was he live?
Brilliant.
I've never seen anybody be able to not swear and just tell it like it is, just observational humour.
He was brilliant.
Oh.
I was a bit unsure. I thought it'd be didn't think I could sit through an hour and a half, but he had me like that.
We were in stitches the whole time.
And yeah, didn't swear. Sort of semi-adult content. I don't know, not even really adult content.
I reckon a kid could have seen it and been happy.
Yeah, but just, man, his timing, he didn't miss a beat the whole time. Hour and a half, didn't fuck up one joke.
No. But think about how much he would have... That's the one thing they say. There's a lot of podcasts out there with comedians, and they say now there's a lot of actors going into comedy and just getting because of their name. But think about what Jerry did at the comedy place he was at. He would have bombed millions of times.
Yeah.
Boo, you suck, Jerry.
Yeah.
And then he's just the byproduct of 40 years of being...
It's a real hard slog to become a comedian. It's brutal. You got to work out your material and go through some terrible times with just your friends watching you, and then you might do one good joke or one good show, then a little bit of word of mouth. So.
And you got to be obsessed.
Yeah.
So you and I could sit in, we could have a group of friends, and everyone would make everyone laugh, and you're playing to your crowd. But to go into a crowd you don't know and to make them laugh would be so difficult. So difficult. And they're the cream of the crop for me because they're super intelligent, they're social outcasts, but yet they're so funny.
Yeah, they're always odd. Well, Jerry doesn't seem that odd. I think because all the money he's got and just, he's sort of never had a drug problem,
No. No.
Did marry late, bit of a womanizer, I think.
Was he?
But, character in the show, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's fair. Oh, wouldn't you have been doing it if you were Jerry Seinfeld, though?
Yeah.
That'd be great with Jerry Seinfeld. And he loves his cars. So then he does comedians in cars now. And he gets all the celebrities in.
Do you ever watch that and the other celebrities are quite nervous to go on the street.
Yeah.
Jerry doesn't give a fuck. He's just strolling into coffee shops. Everyone's talking to him, and he's just rattling off one-liners.
He doesn't care. I think he's used to it too. You must be annoying though. I always think, and the reason we started this podcast was to give regular people a chance to tell their story because, you know, we're just regular working class people, mate. You go work your 9 to 5, you go home, look after your daughter. You and my sister are raising a family that you can be proud of, and you're paying all your bills and your mortgages and stuff like that. But everyone's got that story to tell. And we're so obsessed with celebrities. We're so obsessed with wanting to know about them. But then there's a guy on the street that we don't give the time of day to that could tell just as good a story.
Yeah,
that you'd be
way
like,
more
holy
interesting.
fuck.
Yeah.
And you can relate.
I guarantee a lot of those celebrities aren't that interesting.
No. Well, you look at what there's Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner now is I'll pull it up for you. Kylie Jenner is trying to get donations. Abs talked about this on a podcast. I want to get your view on it. She's trying to get donations to become the world's youngest billionaire. So she's now on what's she on?
Is she the one going out with the other one goes out with Kanye. She goes out with the
Is it Tiger?
Travis Scott. Yeah,
I like
was
Travis Scott.
just at Lady Hill then.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lady Hill. Getting some chips. I was reading the paper, and it was about that.
So
she
someone
fucking looks so much like Kim Kardashian.
Doesn't
it's
she?
not funny.
Doesn't she? It's crazy. So, but would you donate to Kylie? We don't need to donate to Kylie.
Why? Like that is just some. You know, she'll just get. There'll be some people out there who'll do it. You know, $10.
But why?
$1.
What would she give you though? That's the thing. Like, what would she actually give you?
Exactly. It's
Nothing.
like me going, I want to be a billionaire. Donate to me.
Yeah, go fund me. Donate to Matt Stingray.
Yeah.
I want to be a professional
I just
wrestler.
want to get a bigger house.
Yeah.
Like just.
Like everyone wants it, you know? Everyone wants a little bit of extra
Yeah.
cabbage.
No, that is like, she should be almost shunned, you know, for that.
That's the Kardashian family in a whole they're just, so even Robert Kardashian, God rest his soul, he's carked it. But he defended O.J. Simpson. But that's how they got famous.
Yeah.
And then the mother was a really good manager, but then Kim released a porno. Imagine if your family's loaded because you released a porno.
Yeah.
Imagine sitting at the Christmas dinner. what that would be like.
This turkey was paid for my sex.
Yeah,
by
this
my
turkey was
sex
paid
video.
by my pussy that Ray J fucked. You know, like he went to town, and Ray J's funny on that porno though.
Yeah.
He's really funny.
It's been years since I've watched that.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's been what, 2 days since you watched it.
Just the German erotica these days.
Yeah,
mate.
that's fair.
I've gone too far now.
Have you? You're into German now. You're the gimp. You're into the gimp now, like Pulp Fiction. Apparently, Quentin Tarantino is making his last movie, and he's having Yeah, he's making one more, and he's having an all-star cast. So he's going to have everyone from fucking George Clooney to, you know, Kate Blanchett or whoever it is. It's going to be a really big cast.
We should have
Leonardo
all the
DiCaprio.
ones from the past movies.
Of course. I think Bruce Willis has always been one of his best
Yeah.
in those movies. Samuel L. Jackson was awesome.
Oh, so he's in all of them, isn't he?
Pulp Fiction.
He's in every
Yeah, he
one,
is, isn't he? I think he is.
He is, I think.
My favourite's Reservoir Dogs.
Maybe
though.
not. Fuck, what's the one with Uma Thurman? Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
I don't know if he's in that.
Yeah, maybe
It's
he
been
is.
a while since I've seen that, so.
I like Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah,
I think that's my
I like
favourite.
Pulp Fiction. I really liked Django Unchained.
Yeah, that was good too.
Not that I watch many movies. I'm usually like watching once. Pulp Fiction I've seen heaps of times, so
Yeah.
that really sticks in my memory.
Yeah.
Or Inglourious Basterds was cool for that
Yeah.
Austrian actor. Was
Yeah.
it Christopher Wentz or
Yeah.
Waltz? Or
And he
something?
was in Django as well.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Hey.
That opening scene in that with when the people are under the floorboards.
Oh.
It's intense.
But that's what would have happened though.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about being a Jew in those times.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I reckon my family history goes back to being Jews. Because my
Are they
granddad,
Irish or
well,
Hungarian
my mum's side is Irish. They would have been Irish Catholic, Irish Protestants, one of them. But my granddad, my dad's dad, John, Janusz, we call him. I'd never called him Janusz in my life, but that's his real name. Has a barcode on his arm.
Wow.
And you go, Granddad, what's that? And you go, none of your business. Just won't talk to you about it.
That's
Very
a good chance.
proud. There would have been a barcode. He could have been in the Holocaust. He could have
Yeah.
been branded. You don't know.
Yeah.
He'll never tell you.
So they were tattooing it back then.
I
Or
think
they
it was
burned
just,
or
it was a
something.
barcode or something, because what they used to do is they pull you up at this station. Half would get out, go to another van. Half would get out, go to another van. One would go to a gas chamber. One would move on to another concentration camp.
Yeah.
So, and they take families and children away from mums and dads
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It would have been brutal
What
back
Trump's
in those
up
days.
to now.
Well, exactly right. How can you do that? How can you do it? Imagine that, like you're a dad now. Imagine someone trying to take your daughter away from you.
Oh, you just
Like ever.
you'd go crazy. I don't know what you'd do.
But then if they did, and you knew you couldn't ever get to them again, you'd go
crazy.
You
Yeah,
would, wouldn't
you fully would. The not guilt, but just the fear and the like anger would
Yeah.
just overtake you. You just
Well, for me, it's like I look at your daughter, I look at Drew, my niece, and I go, fuck, I'm watching something grow up that's part of my family. And you get to see it grow. Every time I go over every week, you get to see it grow a little bit, walk a little bit, talk a little bit.
And she's hilarious.
And I love her to pieces. And then I go, fuck, I don't even have kids. And I die for her.
Yeah.
To think about what you think about and the feeling that comes from you as a dad must be crazy.
Yeah, like you can have the worst drive home or shit day at work, and it literally you walk in the door and you see, as you know, I love my dog as well, Rowdy, and
Shout out
see
to
them
Rowdy.
both there, and they're both usually at the door. It just, you fucking forget it
Energises you?
instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was I stressed about? Some architect or someone giving me a hard time, or designer or something.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I should be focusing
Well, and
on.
that's what life's about, though. Really, life's about family. The reason you're here at the podcast is because family's first.
Yeah.
It's always first for me. And you get the opportunity to go home every day, and people, you just got to always invest in your family, because they're the one
No,
people always will.
I have taken that a lot on board since, might be getting a bit deep.
Yeah. No, you're fine, mate. Go, you can go as deep
I love
as,
how close your side of the family
go
are.
as deep as you want.
Hence Luke is here. And
Hey, Luke. Mate, I'll have a beer, thanks, Luke, seeing as you're a waiter.
There's one on the table.
Yeah, that's not at my side of the table. No, that's for Matt.
I'll need that one.
That's for Matt, mate. So I'll need another beer, thank you, sir.
I'll be right out there, son.
Thank you, mate. I think, but it's also is my side of the family, Matt, shows our love differently to what you guys do.
Yeah.
So that's also another thing is I think everyone, and I'm guilty of it, you're guilty of it, we always want things that we can't do. Like I've always loved the fact you're a very honourable bloke, you're nice to everyone, you always give everyone the time of day. And you'll also, like, even if it's a family thing that's going on, no one will know that you're upset unless you really know who you are. So I'm lucky I'm your family member, so I'll know. But you've got a great quality like that. Whereas me and Rachel, if we're upset, everyone knows.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Rachel. She is a absolute firecracker sometimes.
Yeah.
And we used to bicker all the time, and now you get to bicker with her, which is good. And I can't do anything wrong. I'm the golden child. Thanks, mate. Thank you.
No, I was like, if this had been a podcast with one of my friends, or nah, you're not going, or I need your hand, but because it's Nathan,
Yeah.
go, have as many beers as you want.
Enjoy yourself, mate.
Ride a bike in the middle of the night with no helmet.
Yeah. You don't have a daughter to raise or anything. You don't have a daughter to raise. You're fine. That's but it's also, and that's one thing that I've always, and while Luke is here, and me and Luke will talk about this on Sunday, bit of an exclusive. Luke's going to be on the podcast on Sunday. Is just live your life your way. You got a great formula on your life, Matt. I tell you all the time. We have a few beers, and I'll be like, mate, I love you to pieces. Got a great family, and you just try and learn from everyone. I try and learn from you and your family every day, and that's the way it goes. You hope that the people that are younger than you and that come after you and your kids. I guess your biggest thing now is, how do I raise my kid right?
Yeah.
Am I teaching them the right skill?
Yeah. No, it's just be good to people, I think. And people be good to people, and then you'll surround yourself with good people.
I think so. Well, you said to me once, you go, you're a friend to everyone and an enemy to none. It's a great skill to have if you can do that.
I've had
right.
a couple of enemies over the years, but on a whole.
What about the bloke on what was it, the Australia Day? What did
Australia
you
Day.
called it? Was it Anzac Day?
Anzac Day down at Ulladulla, yeah.
What
But I
happened?
was pissed, and it's a bit rude to him. And he headbutted me.
What did you say? You called him fat?
Called him but it was in a nice way. I guess I didn't know him well enough. I'd only met him 2 hours earlier.
Yeah.
To be having that sort of banner.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. It happens. Just stop calling people fat, matey.
Yeah, no.
But you were a big kid, weren't you? You were a big kid when you were younger.
Yeah. I was quite overweight up until year 9, I think. Year 9, year 10.
Yep.
So that's why I got a little bit bullied and stuff, and
Yeah.
hate bullying and stuff like that. That's why I wasn't proud when I gave that guy a hug.
Well,
I didn't really. Yeah, I probably deserved what I got.
You
know?
were drunk. You were drunk, so that's okay, mate. As long as you can admit it now,
We
you're
fucking
okay.
legged it out of there. Yeah, young, later 20-year-old South Coast kids.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Well, it's interesting. You're always a byproduct of your life. You're always a byproduct of how you grow up, right? So you've got a real passion for treating everyone equally, because not everyone gets treated equally. And kids don't have filters. So, what about when Drew goes to school? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
How she deals with adversity from someone that belittles her, or how she belittles people, and then how you deal with that.
Yeah. Well, we were at a barbecue on a baby shower on Sunday.
Yep.
Lots of kids there, and the little girl, Drew's age, Drew went up to her and pushed her over and tried to take her dummy. And fully the girl started screaming, and then every time Drew would go near her again for the rest of the barbecue, the girl would
She was traumatised.
Traumatised.
Your kid's traumatised. She's a bully.
I've gone, fuck, okay, you watching this, Rachel? And then so Rachel asked our daycare lady, Yenna, if she does that.
Yep.
And Yenna goes, no, she never does that. But then I picked her up that day after Rachel asked her. I picked her up that afternoon, and Yenna brought it up, and she goes, she did it today. She pushed over one.
Well, she's pretty rough with Rowdy, though.
Well, that's the thing. She's got a great big black beast, who she can do whatever she wants to. So
and he's got a great temperament.
I just got the best video of him.
Did ya?
She just sat down with him and patting him and taking the toy out of his mouth, and he'd take it back and she'd take it.
That's awesome.
It was great, yeah.
But that's the best. The benefit of you having a dog while Drew grows up is she gets used to that. And Rowdy's going to be so protective. When we play around and Rowdy's up biting you because you're following Drew around.
Yeah.
He does it all the time. It's great. It's a really good quality to have. And I guess that's the challenge, is parenting these days would be so much. Like, I don't think I wasn't really disciplined as a kid, but I was the youngest, to be honest. Did you get disciplined much as a kid?
Yeah, not really. Dad never touched me or anything. Mum would give me a smack.
Didn't slip a
smack
finger
and
up you
stuff.
or anything?
No. But yeah, I remember one time I really fucked up, got drunk when I was underage, and Dad was not too happy that day.
What did he say to you, Matt? I'm very disappointed.
I got drunk underage, and then nothing happened for ages. And then me and Spud once again got arrested for stealing some stuff from Miranda Fair.
What were you stealing?
And Mum had to come up and get us. Back then, it was in high school. There was a real all the kids were stealing stuff from the food court at Miranda Fair.
So what did you do? Just feed you before you played?
No. So Spud stole Colonel Sanders in the KFC. Oh, Spud still got it. It's in the garage. It's in the garage.
Let's put it on the wall.
Yeah, no, he's got it in the garage.
Yes.
So that was the crown jewel. So everyone, once Spud claimed that he got the Colonel, then everyone sort of jumped on board.
That's so unlike Spud.
And then I went up with Spud one night after a band's night down Cronulla, and we stole some stuff from the Doner Kebab place. Just some I think they were pop arts or the Andy Warhol sort of pictures.
And that's what you got hanging on your wall right now.
No. And then we got caught running down a Miranda Fair with them by the cops. A policeman just happened to be driving past.
That's so
because we had the car strategically placed and everything to make a quick getaway.
Yep.
And he just had to be coming in. It's easy to. And we weren't even 18 yet. Spud might have been. I wasn't. And so we were at the cop shop, and Mum had to come and pick me up. And
filthy.
Yeah, Mum was, and then I got home, and Dad was fucking very angry,
blowing up at you.
Yeah. So I got a job the next day, and really put my head down.
When did you get your first job? How old were you?
Would have been 14 or something.
Yeah.
I used to do the odd day or with my old man.
Yep.
Doing a bit of building, but first job would have been at the triathlons out Kurnell, and then I picked up golf balls for a couple of years at the driving range.
Were you driving? Did you drive the bugger?
It was pre-car.
Oh,
so you used to have a golf a stick or a golf shaft with a tin can on the end.
Did anyone hit it at you at the time? Did anyone?
No, it was all finished then.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go there at 7, 8 o'clock at night once the driving range was closed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. I remember me and my mate Robbie did it. And we didn't know what the protocol was our first day, and everyone picks a lane, and so they go. So the guys have been doing it for years. Go, 1 lane 6, and lane 1 was right down the centre.
Oh,
so you're
no.
like, no. Because as soon as you did your lane, you could pretty much go home.
Right. Of course.
So
You got all the balls. You got all the balls picked up. They know they're smart. They're smart out there.
So yeah, that was like so you had to fucking get them all up, and so once, but like me and Robbie, our first day we got like 1 and 2,
Yep.
and so we were out there at like midnight. Our parents used to come pick us
I
up.
couldn't imagine Robbie picking up golf balls.
Oh, he was all right.
Was he good?
He's all right.
He's got the youth elixir, that guy.
yeah, Robbie.
Too much, mate. I've never known a bloke. I used to think I could do it well, and then Robbie Barnes, he just does it better than anyone else. He can go out 7 days a week, every single day.
Still enjoys. I saw him on the weekend, and he had a big Tuesday night.
Yep.
It's the rag trade, you know. They have
Yeah.
random nights, and then I think he was having a big Saturday as well. He was having a big
Jesus.
Saturday.
Big Saturday is just a couple of glasses of tea and some cheese these days as a parent.
Well, for me, yeah.
No, well, you're in bed by 8 o'clock, aren't you? You're in bed by 8 o'clock.
I
these
must stretch it to 9 on the
days. Mate,
Saturday
I'll
night.
tell you what, mate, I'm impressed.
I
What
know,
is
you
it,
have kept me up.
8:30? Well, you
I
were
was-
late. You were late,
Yeah,
so that's okay.
I had to put a child to bed.
That's true. How is she? She was a bit sick. Drew was a bit sick, wasn't she?
Bit of a runny nose, yeah. But she's still happy. Just got a bit of a snotty nose.
Yep.
So
What was the best job that you worked? You've worked. Well, you worked in England. You loved England for a while.
the job I had in England by far and away. The job I got now is pretty good.
Yep. Well, you have to say that because your boss might be listening.
I worked at Pizza Hut.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that. I worked with, I used to be the dish pig, and we'd all bring in mix cassettes, like mixtapes.
Yep.
And like the guys, and there's a couple of really good guys with good taste in music once again, and we put on these mixtapes, and
That's awesome.
I remember the waitresses used to come around and say, people are complaining, it's too loud. I should say, it's like
Sorry.
Rage Against the Machine and
Yeah.
like Corn just pumping. And,
Yeah.
but yeah, my job in England was always, that was just mainly because of the guys I worked with. And
you went. How many times did you go to Glastonbury? The Glastonbury.
I
festival?
went twice to Glastonbury.
Who was the headliners? Do you remember the headliners?
First year I can on the main stage was White Stripes.
They would have been cracking.
Not the Arctic Monkeys was the other year. The White Stripes, maybe the Killers.
When they just started out, Sam's
Yeah,
Town.
but then the Killers were definitely the headliner the other year I went. No, I think they'd done Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
And then the second year I went, they'd done Sam's Town.
They blew up.
Yeah.
Big time. And
So-
they're good live.
They absolutely blew me away when we saw them, even though we had the worst seats possible.
Yeah. Oh, mate, we were right at the back. It was good. I don't know why. We were having a great time though.
But yeah, it was like I just reaffirmed how good they are. They're just the ultimate sort of party rock band.
He's
these
a
days.
great frontman though. They put on a good show. They've got great. It's synthy rock because they use that synthesizer and
Yep.
the old school real. If you think in Las Vegas, you're thinking the
Yeah,
Killers.
it's got a real Las
Yeah.
Vegas feel, eh?
Oh,
And he
yeah.
really hams that up a bit, and they seem pretty proud to be from Vegas. As
Well, didn't he move? Didn't
He's moved because his wife couldn't handle Vegas anymore, so they've moved to Utah. That's the big Mormon
Yeah.
area, isn't it? So.
mate? Honestly, Vegas. You don't want to go there for more than 3 or 4 days.
Well, yeah, that's what, when I was in America, I didn't go, but I was considering going. A lot of people did say
you just
that.
get sick of seeing the sunrise. I don't know how. Like my biggest regret about traveling is, I don't know how you feel. You usually get up and do a little bit of walking, but we get carried away. So, and when I travel with my mates, I'm catching up with them in the States that I haven't seen for ages. We end up drinking till 4 or 5 in the morning. You wake up at 10, you're dusty. You can't go out and do activities.
Yeah.
You just start drinking at 12 and you just keep going again.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a fine line when you're on an overseas holiday.
Yeah, and then you get back and you still feel sick. Like you need a
Yeah.
couple of days to recover.
Yeah, it's like you need a long weekend when you get back.
Oh.
You need time with a long
You
weekend.
do, but then I don't regret anything because the best people I've met throughout all of my travels have been out at bars or drinking.
yeah, you'll always remember a great night out. You'll never remember the hangover.
No, yeah, unless you vomit and stuff. I remember my first time.
No, you never do. You know, I've had some shocking hangovers, and you just sort of
Who gets a bad hangover? Your wife,
the
the old Rachel Spew.
Yep.
She's a spew machine.
big time.
Whenever
Many
we were,
times I've
so that's what you do it now.
smelled. Well, I'll just get up and go to the couch now and sleep with the dog or something.
Married life. Hashtag dad life. Hashtag married life.
And then you open that door that morning,
Oh.
and it's just spewing the sheets. And you just go, whoo.
She's
Far out.
I used to give her a bucket. I remember she'd come home drunk, and she'd be sleeping, and I'd get her a bucket and like a Gatorade or a Hydrolyte, and she'd never drink the Hydrolyte, but I'd always get her one every time. She was a bad one. The first time I got drunk, it must have been, you know where the 7-Eleven is just down the road there? Mm-hmm. About between my place now and that petrol station down there, we were drinking at Cronulla. So drinking down on the beach there, and we'd gone out, I must have been 18 at the time. And we were drinking Sambuca shots. Our boss was buying us Sambuca shots, and we went back to a friend of ours' house, and we were drinking, and I was legless. So I was at the point where you lose all function of your body, and I just got up, walked down to the Cronulla Mall, so I must have walked 10, 15 minutes, and got in a cab. But I'd left my phone, wallet, and keys all at this place. And I got in the cab, and I'm like, mate, take me to 15A Solon Road, Janelli. Your favourite place in the whole world, 15A Solon Road. And halfway down, I'm like, mate, you got to stop, I've got to spew. And I was just spewing on the road for a good 10 minutes. And he goes, mate, have you got your phone and wallet? I'm like, mate, I got nothing on me. Do you know your phone number? 95283650.
Yeah.
And he called my mum. And my mum's like obviously waking up, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. Standard Laura. She never went to sleep until all of her kids were home. You know what she was like. And she's driven, and the taxi driver left me, and I'm laying on the road, like I'm laying sprawled out like I was dead, really. Mum's coming on the left-hand side of the road, and I'm on the right-hand side. She's gone, oh my God, swerved over the medium strip because she thought I was dead. Tapped me, I'm like, ugh, just drunk, just a drunk mess. Dropped me home. Mum went to work, and I remember going to work the next day at Janelli Inn, and I'm working, and Rachel's brought me chicken and chips. Every time I ate one chip, I'd throw up. Yeah. That's one of the worst hangovers I've ever had. Yeah. I've never been able to drink Sambuca again. Ever. I can't stand it. Can't stand it now.
A bit like that red wine.
What happened?
I just had a couple of nasty... Like I could still drink it, but I don't really enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm very cautious of it.
Well, it gets you drunk quick.
Yeah, and it gets you sloppy and...
Yep.
It's very sloppy.
Some people go like that on vodka. Some people get violent on vodka and rum. I've never found that. I've never drunk rum.
Scotch can do it.
Yep.
Like, yeah, last time I spewed was off Scotch. Just going off that nice Scotch you bought me.
Yeah.
It wasn't Scotch, it was Japanese whiskey.
Yeah.
And
how much did you drink?
A couple of big glasses, and it just sort of, whoa. Just all of a sudden, I was over the toilet. And
nothing better.
No.
There's nothing better than it, though. Mate, that just means you're getting old. What are you, 52 now? What are you doing for your 40th? What are you doing for your 40th, by the way?
I don't know.
What's the plan?
I don't know. It should be big. Something big, hopefully.
As I said to you, 2026, we're going to America, Canada, and Mexico for the World Cup. We've all got to go. Yep. Drew will be old enough. Imagine Drew at that World Cup. She'll be 10.
Take her.
She'll want. Oh, maybe just give it a grandma. Give it one of the relatives. See if Dave wants to stay back and look after all the relatives. I can't wait for it. I can't wait. I think it'll be a great trip.
Where's that again?
It's in America, Canada, and Mexico. It's all throughout. So what we could do is, I was thinking about the other day.
How did America get it so quick again? They had it like in 94, I think.
I think it's time zones.
Yeah.
Because if they had it here,
it would totally be.
But it'd be great here. Imagine how many people would come to
Australia.
Australia.
The Olympics is still classed as the greatest Olympics ever, though.
It was, though.
Yeah, the Sydney one.
It was. They were, like if they brought it here, the only thing is they'd be watching it at 4 a.m. Or they'd be watching it at...
It doesn't suit Europe, does it?
People would still get up and watch it. They're diehards for it.
Yeah, but like it's a bit like here, you know, like... Imagine if Australia was playing at 7... Well, like that France game. I bet it killed it.
Oh, yeah.
And then every other game, you know...
It was too late, but then again, you go, it only happens every 4 years. You know, it only happens every 4 years.
I got up. Yeah, I loved it. I got up for the England games as well.
I was there. Mate, I'm just going to... I've got to piss really hard, so I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to go chuck a piss, and then we'll come back. We'll do a sports all-in. No, you can't sip on it. We're back, guys. The piss break is sponsored by Larry Klein. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it, mate. We've managed to get 3 shots here. So Luke's going to do one. I'm going to do one. Matt's going to do one. Cheers, boys. It's going to be disgusting.
Up your bum.
Oh, that's actually not bad. That's not bad, that. That's not good.
Whoa.
So now this is the best part. This is what you and I love, sport. So we're going to go into a sports all-in.
Yep.
So I figured what we could start with, one of the biggest things in sport at the moment, is Kawhi Leonard being traded to Toronto.
Has he? I didn't
And
even know this.
DeMar Rosen being traded to
Wow.
Spurs.
Wow, DeRozan.
So they traded DeRozan to the Spurs for Kawhi. Now, they reckon Kawhi will do a year at Toronto and then go on a free trade to LA to play with LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's ridiculous.
Are they same position? Or is he
What is Kawhi-
shooting guard and LeBron small forward?
What does Kawhi play?
Yeah, DeRozan's definitely a shooting guard.
And what's LeBron play?
Small forward,
Small
I thought.
forward. He's a pretty
But
big
he can
forward.
play power, small, shooting guard, I guess.
Shoot, defend, anything you
Yeah.
want. That's massive. That's a big... And the fact that LeBron just left that side of the league and Toronto were going to be strong and they were going to get through,
Yeah.
they've just weakened their side.
Yeah.
Okay, Kawhi Leonard played 8 games last year.
But he was really good the year before,
He's
wasn't
a
he?
freak. Yeah, he's a freak, but he played 8 games. DeRozan is a great player. Yeah, with DeRozan. You put it up on the screen. On the screen. But it's massive for the NBA. What's happened with the trades. So LeBron's at LA now, which really it's the Eastern Conference that's been weakened. So now, I don't know what's going to happen. Golden State will still win.
Yeah.
I would have gone to Houston if I was LeBron.
Yeah, I think it's... I don't mind seeing... I know the Lakers have got a lot of money, but I like seeing the Lakers do well.
Yeah.
Not that I really like Lakers, but it's sort of good for basketball, I think.
Yeah. Internet, Luke. If you hit internet, go across, go up, flick it up. Yeah, and then across. Not go across that way. Yeah, there you go. What's that? Right there. That's Mixed Business Podcast. How good is that for a logo, though? That's a crime scene. That's a crime scene. Here we go. Look at this for a stat, Matt.
Stats comparison.
Pull it up.
Tell me who was better.
So DeRozan's on the left, Kawhi Leonard's on the right. So DeRozan, 27.7 points per game.
Last season, they both played a full season.
Wow, 23 points per game, and Kawhi had 16.2 points per game, 5.2 assists per game for DeRozan, 2.3 assists per game for Leonard, and then 3.9 rebounds per game for DeRozan and 4.7 rebounds a game for Kawhi. That's a big, and he's going to play under Popovich. Game on.
Yeah.
Game on Spurs.
Yeah.
Right now. Grab that phone, Luke. If you want to grab that phone and go into the fixtures for the NRL. Thanks, young Jamie. Luke's my young Jamie right now, Matt. NRL. Let's talk NRL. You're a massive diehard Sharks fan.
Love the Sharks.
Member of the Sharks. And I'm a diehard South fan, as you can see on the wall right there.
It's the worst team they've ever had, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
that Brian Fletcher
Shocking.
and...
Now that was their that thing hanging on my wall is the March when they got back in the comp. So George
okay.
Pickens is on there, Sean Garlick's on there, all those
Righto.
guys are on there. I actually stole it from my dad. Don't tell him. We had my dad round here the other night, and Abs. It was just before Abs left. Luke was over, my dad, and the 4 of us were there, and everyone says that I can talk underwater with my mouth full of marbles, but you talk to my dad. That bloke. He's a disgrace, isn't he? Like
he can talk and he's entertaining.
loves
That-
telling the same story more than once, though, doesn't he?
He is, yeah. No, I know when he stayed with us for a little while. Yeah, we'd be up watching the Big Bash, and I think a couple of times went, "Oh yeah, he told me this last night." Or he told me this a few nights ago.
Every time he'd have a couple of beers and do the same thing. But he was sitting there, and we were talking about the podcast, and Dad goes, "Fucking podcast? What's that shit?" And I go, "Mate, well, we just sit down and talk. Pretty much what you and I have done for ages, Dad." He goes, fuck, I'm not even on Facebook. I'm dirty. There's a photo on Facebook about me. But he was ripping on me the whole time, and to the point where I had nothing. He's the one bloke that can continuously rip on me, and I've got nothing left.
He's definitely got some quality banter, your dad.
He does.
He comes from that pub, you know.
And a name like Attila.
Yeah.
And having it, he got up, you'd love this, he got up from the couch. He'd had a few beers, he was a bit pissed. He got up, and Abs goes, "Mate, are your pants down?" And he's getting up, but his ass is so hairy that there was must have been 30 centimetres of hair poking out like he was wearing pants underneath his pants. And his ass was just all out.
He is like He's like a Sasquatch that somehow worked his way into like suburban life or something.
He's the missing link.
Yeah.
He's the missing link. So
He's snuck in.
NRL, we've got, at the moment, we're watching the Bulldogs play the Eels. They're up 6-0. 10 in the bin. Brett Morris gone to the bin. So the Bulldogs are up 6-0 against the Eels. Shit game. I don't even care about it. Who do you think is going to win that game, Matty?
I've tipped the Bulldogs.
Yep.
I think the Bulldogs are due a win.
Yep.
You know, they're two awful teams. But I think the Bulldogs have been a bit unlucky. And, you know, Parramatta got some good players and they just...
I reckon they've lost the coach.
Yeah. I don't know. They got those good halves and they just doesn't seem to happen. I don't know. It's weird. Are they going to be the biggest disappointment ever for a season?
They were in the top 4.
Yeah, everyone's
last
tipping
year.
them to go to the grand final and stuff. And they're like battling for the wooden spoon.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the fans.
With a good team.
I feel sorry for the fans.
Yeah,
I really feel for the fans.
Like it's their halves have pretty much been on the field all year.
Get rid of
that Gutherson, fair enough, but he's come back.
Yep.
Haynes been in and out, but who gives a fuck about him?
Mate, hasn't he dropped off?
Yeah, they're forward. I think it's their forward pack.
Yep.
Like my mate Robbie, big, huge Eels fan, and he just always puts the blame on the forward pack.
Mate, I've lived through a lot of years when South have been shit. And I've lived through when South have been okay, and then I've watched them. The big thing in the NRL at the moment is your ruck. If you don't have 2 markers in the ruck in the defence, you fuck your whole defensive line. And the hookers are so fast these days. Every hooker in the league is able to get out and run in that gap, and it puts everyone else on the back foot because usually they play up and in defence, and that's the way it is. I was sick of seeing South do that. We're fit this year. We're playing good footy.
South are the one team really. You know, who are consistently looking good.
Yep.
Whereas like Melbourne will look good for a couple of games and
drop
then
off.
Then they lose one or it's tight. Us like we're good for a couple of games and then I don't know. Then we play someone like when we played you.
You'll be there though.
Good.
You'll be there.
I think
Melbourne
will
will be
definitely
there.
top 8. Moylan's starting to look good, I think. And
fuck, you would have loved Jimmy Maloney. You would love Jimmy Maloney back.
No, he's great. Like he won us that premiership more or less. So
yeah,
you got to give him like
what a good time it was to be a Sharks fan when they won the premiership.
It gives me goosebumps still talking about it.
Yeah.
Like anytime you're on a building site, because I'm a builder or carpenter.
Yep.
And another Sharks fan walks in, and you know one of the instant things is where you're from. You know, oh yeah, who's your support?
Yeah.
Big Sharks fan, and then boom, it's just like then you start talking about what they did afterwards, what they did beforehand. What they did for all the finals games. It's
Mate, it sucks because I had the wood on you all the time. The Sharks never won a premiership. Now they won one. I got nothing.
Yeah, well, we won the last one. So.
Got absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So, no, it's really good. Then we've got the Sharks play the Raiders. I'm tipping the Sharks in that one. They're at home.
Yep.
They're paying $1.48. If you want to just slide down on that phone, just slide down or up. We'll see all the fixtures. Then the Broncos are playing the Panthers. Who you got there?
I got I've tipped the Broncos.
What's that? Suncorp.
Suncorp,
Yeah.
yep. Apparently Maloney's touch and go.
Okay. Then you got the Knights, the Titans. Knights will win that one easily.
Yeah, I've got the Knights
$1.91 each though.
Yeah, the Titans are very hit and miss, you know, but the Knights should win at home.
Okay.
Surely, shouldn't
Yeah.
they?
Who's next? We've got the Bunnies and the Tigers. John Sutton's 300th game. What a servant for South. Let me just say right now, South have had a lot of really good players. But what John Sutton's done in his 14-year career, maybe 15 years, for South is he started as a 5'8", he moved into the back row, went back to 5'8", he's now in the back row. Mate, he's done anything and everything for South. So just a congratulations to him because to play 300 games for such a big club and a proud club like that and to be the first one to do it, people are bagging him saying he's the worst player to play 300 games. Okay, but he's going to play 300 games.
I can't believe they haven't had more play 300. That was really
230 odd games is the next closest.
Yeah, that was really always shocking. All the, you know, how long they've been in the
Oh,
comp.
mate, we were in there with East, and the best thing, you know what the best thing is, so I'm a really big Patriots fan, and my best mate in Florida is a massive Dolphins fan. Shout out to Zach. And I'm a massive South fan. He goes, who the hell is South's arch rivals? And I go, the Roosters. So every time I call him, he goes, go the Roosters, go the Roosters. How are the Roosters going? And I called him the other day, I said, mate, they're doing fucking shit. South's are number one. They're killing it. So, and Rachel goes to the Roosters.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
No, I hate to say it, Nath, but they're the two most disliked teams. I do dislike Canberra a lot now.
Yeah.
And I should really dislike Saints, but Saints are okay.
You got a soft spot. Then you've got the Cowboys, Dragons. I got Dragons win that easily. Cowboys are rubbish.
No, I've actually tipped the Cowboys.
Are you gone Cowboys?
I reckon Saints are on a bit of a slippery slide.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure with that.
They are
It's good round.
15th. It's quite good season. I didn't realise the Cowboys were so low.
Cowboys are playing terrible at the
I
moment.
don't know, I think Dragons are just a bit tired, you know?
Yeah, true. And Ben Hunt after Origins really affected him.
Mm.
So then let's touch on the World Cup. We haven't touched on that since last podcast.
There's more games if you...
Is there more games? Oh, okay. So then, we'll go through that then. So it's Warriors Storm.
Storm, and then Roosters.
That's in New Zealand. I got Warriors winning that one. I got them winning that one in an upset, and then I've got the Seagulls beating the Roosters.
Nah.
It's at Lotto Land.
Yeah, no.
I hope so. They were unlucky not to win against Melbourne last week. Okay, so we'll touch on the World Cup. We've been doing this all the time. France won the World Cup. It was a great game. I stayed up and watched it. The goals were phenomenal. When it was 1-1 between France and Croatia, I'm thinking game on here. And then fucking Paul Pogba hits it with the right foot, rebounds and hits it with the left foot in the corner. Like whether you love or hate Paul Pogba, every time there's a goal or a setup or a through ball to be played to win the game, he does it.
Yeah.
Every time. He would do nothing all game. You won't even notice him and he'll score a goal and you're like, oh my God. Yeah. And then Mbappe, he just dominated. And the last goal he scored, what do you reckon? He was 20 yards out and he just shot this cannon in the bottom left-hand corner and they won 4-2. So congratulations to France. We've also got, I think it's 50 days now till the NFL season starts.
Yep.
So we've got pre-season. There'll be some games that'll start with NFL in the pre-season. I think on my birthday, the Patriots play. So my birthday's August 9. Patriots play one of their pre-season games. And we'll see. I think it's a really good year for the NFL. It's pretty spread open. There's been some really good trades in the off season, and I'm a massive NFL fan. So go the Patriots. I hope the Dolphins do nothing because they shit us.
That's who I think I go for. I base all my support for American sporting teams on places I've been.
Yeah.
Over there. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'd definitely go for the Knicks in the basketball. Maybe
we could go the Jets or the Giants.
It's the Oakland Raiders now, isn't it? We've had
the LA Raiders. The LA now, and they're going to go to Vegas.
This is LA Raiders.
LA Raiders, and they're going to go to Vegas in 2 years. They're building this stadium, this ridiculous stadium where you have an iPad on your seat and you order your drinks from an iPad. How fucked is that?
Yeah.
How good is that though?
But that's the American way. Imagine if that was in Australia.
Yeah.
Everyone would be blind. The Americans don't drink like Australians do, you know?
There's something about our culture. There's something about that Australian culture which is weird. We just get too excited too easy. Honestly, you could come over, Matt, and bring a 6-pack and be like, I'd be like, I've got a 6-pack in the fridge. The footy's on Thursday night. It's a nothing game like tonight. And we'll just get pissed.
Yeah. No,
just because it's Thursday.
Anywhere you travel, the drunkest people anywhere in the world are always Australians.
Exactly right. I totally agree.
It's like we have like some sort of, alcohols. You can't buy alcohol. It's like a what happened in
prohibition.
It's like prohibition in Australia.
When I went to when I travelled the States, me and Luke Bateman, again, shout out to Lukey. I've got to get him on the cast because he's got some good stories. When we went there, Luke, grab Matty a beer.
Thanks, mate.
When we went there, we went to Lynchburg, Tennessee. That's where Jack Daniels is. And you go to the town and you go and you tour the actual brewery, but it's a dry town. They have less than 2,000 people in their town or whatever it is. So they can't overturn the law to change prohibition because they don't have enough people to vote on it. So it's a dry town. And the only way you can get it is every month they get a bottle of Jack and then you have to buy a gift for someone in order to have the booze. It's a completely dry town. How fucked is that? Fuck. But honestly, the States... The one thing I love about the States is how different every state is. And I guess the one thing about Australians, we're massive pissheads, but we travel. And the one thing you learn when you travel, I know, that you realise you go there the first time, you're out of your comfort zone, and you realise everyone is the fucking same. Yeah. You could be Afghani, you could be from Tasmania, you could be from fucking Norfolk Island, wherever you want to be. And if you sit there with someone, there's arseholes everywhere. You'll find arseholes everywhere, but 99% of people are always good.
Yeah, well, definitely people who travel.
Yeah, agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
You're not going to get too many. You know, traveling just opens people up and makes them a bit more worldly and.
Just you're open, like what you said. You're willing to listen to people. Like,
well, you got to like if you're in a like a hostel or something and you're meeting new people, you can't be there just talking about yourself the whole time. You've got to sort of.
No one cares.
Yeah, you got to sort of bit to and fro.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if you're not willing, that's also another thing that, and I was really guilty of it when I was younger is, and now I'm on a massive course to try and change it, is actually listening to people. So when they talk to you, actually listening, because our brain makes sentences up. They go, oh, yeah, I relate to that. And we make sentences up like that. Actually listening and then making your sentence afterwards. And being able to listen to someone and then have your input as well. That's such a hard skill.
Yeah.
It's very hard. But, you know, we're on a vendetta with this podcast and we're determined, both Abs and I, to make sure everyone feels like they can tell their story. And this won't be the last time you're on the podcast.
No, I've enjoyed it.
It's the first one.
It's been, I was a little bit nervous beforehand,
Well,
but
yeah.
it has totally flowed, I feel. I don't know. We'll
I've
see.
got to, you know what, and this is what happens. This is what happens,
mate.
mate. This is what happens, right? Is I had a few things I wanted to talk to you about. We talked about a few things, and then we just got rolling about stories. But the big thing with me, and I've told Luke, our butler, this a million times, is I have 3 really key points when people enter my home. What's going on in the footy?
No, I'm on the dogs.
Oh, you're on dogs?
This dog is just fucking hell.
I think everyone in the whole world has these pillars that you grow up with. So I think no matter whether you've had a hard, whether you're rich, you're poor, whatever, everyone has these pillars. One of mine's family, one of mine's loyalty, and one of mine's respect. They're my 3 really key things in my life. And if I can give people, when they walk through my home, if they can feel, number 1, respected, number 2, when they talk, people listen, and number 3, their opinions matter. And if they can leave my door with that exact feeling, then I've succeeded. Because then they open up and they're actually talking to you, and they're not just going, that guy's a fuckwit. Or, you know, I've left places before and I've thought, that guy's an arsehole.
Oh, totally.
You know? But if you can give everyone that opportunity to be themselves, and if they have something completely different to you, just go, yeah, I don't get it, but I respect it. Talk, go for it, shoot.
Yeah.
That's the idea with this podcast. And that's why we started, because we were really on that path.
No, it's great, yeah.
All right, mate.
Everyday man has some good stories to tell.
Mate, well, they do. They all do. So, mate, look, it's getting late. You got to be in bed.
Yeah,
in the
well
next,
past my bedtime
the next
already.
2 minutes.
I've still got to ride home.
Yeah, mate, I know. How are you going to ride home with no helmet? It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. You know how I feel about you. I'm a big fan of yours. You know, everyone that meets you has nothing but good things to say about you besides that fat bloke in Ulladulla or down south. But, mate, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming on. You've been our second guest, and it won't be the last time you're on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Nate.
Mate,
it's been a pleasure, and good luck to you and Abs. And
thanks, mate. Well, Abs might not have a job. You might be my next co-host.
Well, I don't know if I'm as brash as Abs. You know, he has got a bit of a certain charm about him, hasn't he?
Oh, fuck you, Matty, you fucking dog. Don't come on my podcast and try and take my fucking job, you little dog. I'll fucking kill you, man. Fucking bullshit.
I do love the Lebanese accent.
Seriously,
man.
mate.
It fucking cracks me up.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And as usual, we're going to start a bit of a sign-off. So, see you guys. Have a good one.